Everyone, I just want to show you what I'm up to. I got a nice haul of some horse manure today. This is some cow manure that I piled up here last fall. It was already broken down pretty good, but it's still frozen. I've been scraping every day off the top here and kind of moving into another pile, but this here is still frozen. But I had this going all the way here. I had this piled up last year, and it was all the way up to here last year. And I've been scraping it off steadily, and this stuff here is nice and ready to go. And this is some stuff off another pile that I had a couple years old. I didn't really do nothing to this other than rake it off the top of the pile because the bottom of the pile is still frozen. But you know, this is pure cow manure, and it is just beautiful stuff. So that'll compost real quick. So what I'm doing is I'm blending that. And there's some other stuff, some rougher junk that I cleaned up. This was just a mess back here. It's old cow yard, and it was just covered with garbage all over the place. There's a building over there that they knocked down, and I've been salvaging some blocks out of, and I got to get rid of all the scrap metal and the wood. But so anyway, I got this here in the back of my truck. I just took a bunch of bins because it's going to rain later, and I wanted to make sure I was able to get it all out quick and not have to shovel it out of the truck. But this is all horse manure that I got, and this is broken down pretty nice already. There's not a lot of straw in that. This is mostly just manure, but it'll still compost nice. I wish it did have a little more straw because I need more carbon in my piles. But my son-in-law stopped over tonight, and I know it's a mess here, but you should have seen this last year, what this looked like. He brought me over all this sawdust here. So I put it right here. This is my first bin here, so I got the first bin there. I'm going to stockpiling manure over there. Got some sawdust here. I got to get some leaves. I've seen some folks in town cleaning up leaves and bagging them all up, so I'm going to go snag a couple bags of leaves. And then this will be my first pile where I put everything. And it's really not heating at all yet. It's just way too cold out here. So right now, this one's a new pile. This one I just put together. This is about 2 weeks ago. But these other piles have been around since last year, and I added just a little bit of that manure onto them. But these are, you know, they're working a little bit from last year. They're broken down a little bit. And then this is the next one, and this is the one I've been screening compost out of. This is probably the oldest one. And you know, it's nice, but it's got a long ways to go yet. You know, it's just got to warm up. And so I just been screening, and whatever's big I throw back in there, and whatever goes through the 1/4-inch screen I bag up to use. And my goal is to just go all the way around this silo, bin and bin and the bin. And every day I just shovel one bin. So, you know, I'll take the end bin, put it in this. Next day I'll do one bin. Next day I do one bin. Pretty soon I got an empty bin at the end. And then on the other end of the silo, well, it used to be a silo harvester. They took it all down. That's all that's left. I'll have my last bin, which is the most finished stuff. I'll run it through the screen, through the trommel. Whatever's big will go back into the first bin and go through the whole process again. And I'll just show you. I don't know if I'm going to have enough light up here to see this. But in the barn here, that's where I put everything in the trommel and all that. I keep it in there for anybody that didn't see my other video I did. This is the trommel that I made. And I do it over the wheelbarrow here. And I just load everything in one end. Load it in here and just turn it. And the wheelbarrow fills up, and the big stuff just comes out the other end over here. So I just wheel it right out by the bins, and I can work on that. But here's what I did Saturday. This is just that cow manure that I was showing you. That's broken down. I really can't see it here, too dark. But after I run it through the screen, this is what it looks like here. You know, nice. So that can go right in the garden, and there's absolutely no smell to that. That doesn't stink at all. That's probably been about 3 years old, that stuff. And then in here I got some of that compost that I screened out. And I'll show you this. It's a little darker than what the manure is. So this is how that looks side by side. I don't know if you can really see. Yeah, you can see a color difference there. So this stuff here is then what I'm feeding. I put in my worm bins because there's already some cocoons in here. And I put that in my bins then, and then I'll hatch out all those cocoons and start trying to build my population up, because I lost a lot of worms that were outside over winter. And then in here I got bags. See, I just use these chicken feed bags. That's all these are. And you turn them inside out, and see, because they're kind of pointy on one end, they won't stand this way. If you fill them up this way, they won't stand, they'll fall over. But when you turn them inside out, they get a nice a nice flat bottom to them, and they stay real nice. And then they'll stand up, and you fill them up, and there's like 10 gallons in each one, and that's all castings in there. And they stayed moist. They didn't deteriorate at all. And here's just another barrel full of castings that I've just been filling up. But those are nice black castings there. So I got that barrel, and I got a couple more barrels over there too that need to be bagged up. So it's just an old barn that isn't being used anymore. Well, I bring my cows in here during winter, but other than that, it sits empty. And such a shame. I wish I could figure out a way to heat that room in there and fill it all up with worms for the winter. But I don't know if I can justify the cost. So anyway, hopefully someday it'll warm up here and that grass will start growing on the pasture. It's just starting to turn a little green, but nothing's really growing yet. So it'd be nice to get the cows back out here. They won't eat so much then. But I guess I'm collecting a lot of manure inside while they're in there all day long. So anyway, that's what I'm working on. Someday I need to get a skid steer. This is getting a lot of work for an old man. Alright, take it easy.